Shift, Book 2 in the Silo series, novellas 4 through 6 if you want to go by that, written by D. Russ, published in 2013. Synopsis. In the future, the world, it's this inhospitable place, and people, they spend their lives living underground, trying to keep their aging silos from falling apart. But what caused things to descend to this level? What caused humanity's collapse? This book, it seeks to answer at least some of those questions. Should you read this book? No. Maybe. No. Just hear me out and try to decide from there. Shift, it's got a lot of problems, but let's start with the positives because that's what I always do. Now, this is a weird title to review for me. It does so much right, yet it still isn't enough to save it. It's well written, the characters are fleshed out and compelling. I even liked much of the concept here. The story had potential. I think the apocalyptic thing is overplayed in modern fiction, but there are enough new elements to create a great science fiction narrative. Without spoiling too much of book 1, since I haven't reviewed it on this channel and I don't intend to, my memories of Wool, they're a bit vague, but a lot in that book is left unanswered by the ending, and Shift, it attempts to rectify that. Or, so I assumed going in. There is way too much mystery left unanswered here. Seriously, it was bad enough not knowing what was happening in the first book. Now we're following a whole new cast of characters with their own mysteries to uncover. The majority of this book is told from different characters from the first, and it's set mostly in earlier time periods, as well as exploring completely different places. What the heck? Where is any of this going? The reality is that this book is essentially a prequel to the events of Wool. It's more like a spin-off, given how little it actually connects to that storyline. It's slow, and it likes to jump back and forth to draw things out even further. It sometimes reminded me of those films where, you know, the answers are just beyond the frame of the camera. The characters here know things we don't, but refuse to talk or think about them. And when we do finally get answers, they're underwhelming. Okay, that's an understatement. The explanations are ridiculous, and the measures taken to counter certain past events are even more so. I think the blurb on the cover says it best. Some secrets should remain buried. That's very true here. The answers in this book have made me like the first book a bit less, and I didn't love Wool to begin with. Towards the end of the book, there are some vague tie-ins to Wool, but this doesn't push the story forward. It simply fleshes out the past, and though things do eventually pick up, sort of, I already had lost interest in the story by the time they did. Finally, there are a couple of big reveals that our protagonist arrives upon that I thought were really obvious given the information we have in the story. Our main character, he's no Einstein. In fact, he seems kinda dumb. I was blown away by his response to what he learns towards the end of the book. Though, in hindsight, I was equally blown away by what caused civilization to collapse, so maybe that helped soften some of the blow there. I don't know. In the end, Shift doesn't do enough for me to recommend it to readers. It doesn't advance the series. It phantom menaces the mysteries of the first book with implausible, unsatisfying explanations. It's not terrible, but it's just, who cares? Anyway, that's all I've got. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Peace.